me a countdown or? Okay. Oh, hi. Okay. Thanks, Katie. We've done this before. Hello.
A long time ago.
Yes, it's been ages since we were live. Hello everyone. I am so excited to be here streaming again, live streaming. That's super fun. Um, I guess I'll do our official intro. Welcome, fellow geeks, to this season 2 community chat Q&A fun times. Uh yeah, we as noted haven't live streamed in a really long time. So hopefully the sound is all good. If there's any issues, just drop them in chat. We are paying attention and we will see them. And Katie, our ever faithful tech queen, will try to figure out how to fix it. But hopefully it's all coming through.
I'm really bad at paying attention, so I might not see them, but somebody will tell me.
I officially am watching chat. So chat, you guys can count on me. If nobody else, remember who's on your side here.
I'm
It's
just
me.
kidding. I am watching chat. Hi, chat.
Yeah, so we're just hanging out for the next bit. We are doing, I guess, yeah, we're doing spoiler free for the first bit, just in case people are in chat who haven't finished or like who want to listen to the first chunk of this, I guess. But we'll just see where the discussion leads. Um, I've already seen a couple of questions in chat. If and Emily, I see your question. You can drop questions there in the chat if you want to, and we will see them and answer them if we can to the best of our ability. Uh, First question though is from Patrick, and Patrick wants to know how did we all meet? And I'm going to delegate M to answer this question because I think M is technically the one who knew all of us first.
Yes, I am the glue. Hi, my name is Glue. I met Chase first when we were playing with our friend who's been on the channel before, Toby. We're playing at his table, and our characters fell in love, and then we started dating. That's how we met. Then
Chase and M are married. I don't know if
Yes.
that like if
Wait.
anyone doesn't know that.
I didn't. You're. Hold
Yep,
on.
been married for a minute
Katie's like,
now.
We're
oh,
not
mind
super loud
blown.
about it all the time, but
But that's why
have
People
M-
used to be weird on the internet, and when we're on Twitch, it was just a weird vibe whenever anyone found out. So it's been better on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that was a thing.
But if M is ever like really aggressive with Chase, like to a degree that Katie and I are not, that like that's why they have a different a different relationship.
we have
We're
a
allowed
threshold
to do
just
that.
below domestic disturbance.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
M frequently holds up, it's fine, we're married.
We'll talk about this later, Chase.
Then then Chase was like, after we left Toby's table, we kind of like everybody parted ways. He became the main GM, and we started pulling random people that we met at game stores and whatnot. So I met Katie's friend at a game store, and sort of then by proxy of gaming met Katie, and she was like, I don't like TTRPGs, that sounds like some nerdy shit. And then we pulled her in
Spot
through
on,
her
Katie
love
impression.
of Supernatural. That's a true story. And then we haven't been able to get rid of her since.
Yeah, it sounded
Yeah.
barnacle.
That was like
It's
2016.
terrible.
And then in like 2018 or 2019, Tori and I met when we were going to start streaming TTRPGs with Asha Ents and Onduin from RD5. So we started playing together. That was kind of like a short lived creative genius moment that fizzled out. And then I was like, well, I really liked streaming, so I'm going to make Of Dice and Dames. I made Of Dice and Dames. Katie joined that. So did Onduin, because Tori was already doing Level 1 Geek as a blog. Then Tori was like, hey, so you do streaming and Chase does video game streaming. What if we became a conglomerate that did nerdy stuff together as friends? And thus Level 1 Geek was reimagined.
And I made you all become my friends permanently.
And then Tori like just really took us to the next level. She's been the heightener to everything. Everything
Oh
was
my
like
gosh.
so hobby, and then Tori was like, what if we did all these cool things? And it has been a really good run ever since she's been added to our little crew.
Wow. Well, thank you. I don't know if I deserve all of that, but I appreciate it.
I'm happy you forced me to be your friend.
Haha, you're stuck with me now.
I would like to point out that Tori has not run us up to the level to get to level 2, as mentioned
That's true.
in chat.
Yes, yeah. Ryan wants to know how long have we been level 1 geeks, and why does the GM not give us enough XP to promote to level 2? Chase,
I
you're the
answering that
resident
question
GM.
too?
I think Chase needs to answer this question
that's a
because
great question.
he's the resident GM.
I didn't know I was GMing level 1 geeks, so I think we just have a mix up there.
It's
Who's
been
running this
negligence
game?
this whole
Wait a
time.
minute. What game are we playing? Yeah. Good question, Ryan. We'll ponder that and maybe get back to you when we hit level 2. But to answer the first part, at least, when did we start?
2020.
20. Yeah. We were pandemic babies, like so many other
Damn.
channels.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, we've been doing this for 5 years.
Because you were playing on season 2 of Treasure Hunters, Tori, or guesting on season 1, like right before the pandemic.
Yep, that's true. So yeah, we started in the fall of 2020, I believe, and we were live streaming. We did live streaming for quite a while, and then life and stuff, and we were like, let's switch to podcasting and YouTube and stuff like that. So some of you have been around for that whole time, and we appreciate you
I
going
see
on the
you,
journey with
RLU.
us.
That's
Yeah.
you. You've been around that whole time.
Mhm.
I remember seeing RLU once or twice in my video game streams. That's how long
Oh,
RLU's
yeah.
been around.
Yeah. All right. I'm just combing the chat for any questions I may have missed. Emily wants to know which character is everyone's favorite costume. Costumes. Wow.
I like all of the Halloween costumes when you guys cosplayed as each other.
Oh my gosh,
That
that
was
was
next
so
level.
fun. Yeah. That
But
was
also the correct answer is me. My costume every time.
Chase's cosplay is on point.
Yeah.
It's true. He really outclasses all of us when it comes to that department.
I'm
He's
actually a
never
demon.
missed.
It's so hard to do human makeup like this. So
Confirmed. You guys
I
have
know
heard
that
it here.
my cosplay is my least favorite of the crew. It is
Really?
intentionally lazy because I came off of like several seasons where I had to do like full face paint every time. And I was like, I need a break. I need to do something easy where I can just focus on the game and not be running into it stressed. So hoodie, it is. But now I'm
And the
kinda
ponytail.
jealous.
You do your hair.
I do my hair sometimes when I feel up to it.
I think Katie's is my favorite because I just think the skeleton face is always really
Wow.
cool.
See, and I like
But-
Jax because you do the best beard.
Oh, thanks. I'm so proud. I think it was RLU who once in Discord was like, Tori, your beard has gotten so much better, like over time. And I'm like, oh, yay, my beard.
Jack's got a
It's
better beard than me,
progressing.
honestly.
Jack is looking sharp, okay? Just because we're in the middle of chaos and trauma and destruction and world-ending threats is not an excuse to look bad. So, yeah. But I do, yeah. Cosplaying is fun. It's fun to think through what you have because I'm also a kind of low effort cosplayer. I don't really want to go out and buy a bunch of stuff or anything, but it's fun to think through what supplies are already in our closets and try and string together a character from that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then Brian, this will be like a good little segue into talking about the actual show, but watching episode 2 compared to the most recent, Gingham has evolved immensely. Was that intentional or did it just kind of happen?
I feel like it just kind of happened. Like, I didn't want to force anything with it because Gingham was just always kind of weird. And
That hasn't changed.
that hasn't
Gingham-
changed. To be clear, that has not changed. Gingham is
The character
still
development
weird.
was not away from weird.
Yes,
That's true.
squarely in the weird camp.
Squarely in the weird. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it just happened organically in my brain. I don't know.
We'll dive more into, I think, like our character arcs in a little bit. Chase, here's a question for you.
Okay.
Does Chase do you ever tell any of the players, what to do pre-session? Sometimes your characters do things, and I just cannot believe Chase comes up with scenarios that quickly.
I don't ever tell my players anything. The closest I've gotten is that the ending, without giving spoilers yet, was pretty heavy. And so I just gave some warnings of just like, everybody just like steal your emotions and remember our lines and veils and remember that the X card exists. But yeah, no, I don't ever tell anybody anything ahead of time.
That was always a fun way to start a session. Chase coming in like, so let's review the character death rules real quick, everyone. Just checking in. Could be good to keep this in mind. And all of us were like, we were just here for a good time. Now I'm very stressed.
What do you mean?
But to be fair, he's done that several times. So it's not like it's a one time and we're led to believe. Chase has said, let's go over character death rules several times. So
and
it wasn't just the one session.
It's traumatic and scary every time.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. So it's like trained, but
it's a trained response. Yeah.
At least he hasn't only done it the once.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. We're playing Ryutama now to recover from the trauma, so it's nice and cozy.
Yeah.
Chase's range. I can't wait for you to see this game that we're recording right now. It's good stuff.
Very cute. It's in a totally different direction from Stolen Fate, which is good and refreshing. Emily also wants to know the favorite Tori swear line of season 2. I should
every
say,
Tori swear line is my favorite.
Chase delights every time I swear, because people who don't really know me in my real life and only know me as Jack, Tori am really not a swearer, like, at all. It does not
me
really
either.
Okay, that's not true, Em. But anyway, so I can Chase gets a little giggly glee every time I say a bad word.
I think there was a goddamn it Gingham that I really liked.
That sounds like something Jack would say. Except I think it would be God's damn it in the Pathfinder.
I think it was God's damn it. I don't remember what Gingham did though, but I do remember that happening. Goals.
I did yell at Crunk. I do remember I yelled God's damn it Crunk because it was in a fight. I think I remember now. It was because you did not what Jack wanted you to do.
Was it the tree?
No.
Okay.
I think it was the warden, because Crunk was like, we can kill it. Jack was like, please, let's leave.
You know, that would be really funny if I had like transposed Crunk's name with Gingham's name and you actually only said God's damn it Crunk. And I'm just like, oh, that was probably Gingham. That couldn't possibly be you being mad at little Crunky boy.
In no universe would Jack ever yell at Crunk, ever. Any plans to do Daggerheart, Patrick? Funny you should ask. Chase and I have now both read Daggerheart, the rule book. I guess maybe as you saw from Chase's excellent blog review, and I'm thinking about it. I think I'm going to take a shot at running it. This is just Tori's opinion. Tori's take is I think I like Chase as a GM. I think Chase is the best GM I've played with. And so I'm always a little nervous stepping up to the plate to like run the thing, but I'm interested in Daggerheart, and also I want to give Chase a break because he has a lot. He's running Ryutama for us, and obviously prepping season 3 of Stolen Fate. So I might take a shot and do a couple of episodes. So yeah,
you should, and you're amazing. You have nothing to be worried about.
Well, thanks. I don't know, KDM, you guys want to play Daggerheart?
I have been saying I will just give me a character sheet. I will fill it out and I will play anything.
Okay. I'm chomping at the bit, ready to go.
I guess I will show.
I agree Daggerheart will go well with our group style.
That's almost exactly a line that Chase has sent to the chat.
Yeah.
He's just like, hey, this would be good. This would be good for us. He specifically said this might be one of my favorite games.
Oh, wow. Well, Let's see if I do it enough justice that Em likes it, or maybe I'll screw it up so bad she's like, ugh, Daggerheart, never again, please. We'll see. Ryan asks, does Crunk's loyalty to Jack have a limit? I'm also interested in this question.
Ooh, same.
Oh,
I feel like it got close.
yeah. It did get
Remember,
a little bit
there's
close.
non-spoiler territory still.
Okay.
But
okay.
but
Non-spoiler.
does it have a limit?
Yes, it does have a limit. Krunk has a very deep well of patience for Jack specifically, but it is not bottomless, and I would be very interested to see what that would look like.
And let me tell you, Jack had a shovel
Challenge
like all
accepted.
season and was digging to the bottom of the patience well,
There
digging
are
very
some- there are some-
rapidly.
Yeah, no spoilers. I can't say spoilers.
Yeah, not yet.
Yet.
Emily asks, would Chase ever record as a player? You've played Pirate Borg before, and
I played D&D. I
yeah.
played the weird Haskell.
oh
I
my
played
gosh,
the quirky
I've-
Crossin.
I blocked Haskell from my mind. Yeah, you've been
We're
in a
all
number
just
of
quietly
shows.
reminiscing about Haskell
About
for
Haskell.
a second.
Haskell, we gosh, I don't even know if we've posted all of. Oh no, we've posted all of Frost Geeks. We haven't
gonna
posted
say,
all of Candle.
I've
Geeks,
edited all of
but, yeah,
Frost
Candle
Geeks.
Geeks is also out there, but not yet.
Crossin might not be on the records, but he was live streamed.
Yes, that's true. So most of Chase's characters have appeared in our live streams, but you did play a couple in Pirate Borg, and we dragged you into Fiasco, even though canonically Chase hates Fiasco more than any other game in the universe.
Okay, not that bad. It's not my favorite game.
So yeah, I mean, I imagine if we play Daggerheart, maybe I'll loop you in, Chase, and force you to play. And
Please
then I'll
do.
terrorize your character, see how you like it.
Not if I
Tell me
terrorize
who
you
you care
first.
about.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
'cause
stab him.
Yeah, I'll just have a full questionnaire for Chase. Nobody else. Like, everyone will just be like, oh yeah, give me your character concept. Cool. Chase will have like a 50 question questionnaire. Now, what was your mother like? Who does your character care the most about? What would you say was their most painful memory of all time? Just all the things, all the ammo. Yeah, that'll be fun. Okay, would you play a spin on Those Dark Places, but underwater instead of in space, with a GM you aren't familiar with? Mwahaha. It sounds like Ryan maybe has plans. So that might be a rhetorical question. But,
Ryan, I would take a look at my very busy schedule, and maybe underwater stuff has like kind of a particular fear for me. I would
You
never
too?
be- well, I'm not as loud about my fears as Chase is. He's rather
Shh, no,
shameless.
I have no fear. What are you talking about?
But yeah, submarines, that's scary stuff for me. I almost freaked out on like a Disneyland ride where we went underwater for just a short period of time, and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do if it
The
breaks?
Nemo ride?
The Nemo ride.
What?
The Nemo ride.
No.
Okay? I had my arm around my child. I was like, I know how I'm gonna try and get out of here if the water starts coming in, but it's gonna be hard. Yeah, that'd be scary. I might be a little neurotic.
Wow.
To you.
I didn't know this about
Let's just
you.
stay away from the water.
But then you
We're
guys
not
will
meant
never
to be in
visit
there.
me.
We can't breathe it.
I mean, we can visit you away from the water. Like, let's just not be within striking distance of the water.
Striking distance. That's how you know Chase plays too many RPGs. Striking distance.
Do you
That's
have
the
reach?
unit of measurement.
Is this
Yeah,
a 5 foot or
exactly.
a 10 foot?
If I can hit the ocean with a rock, we're too close.
That's striking distance.
Yeah.
Okay. Emily agrees with you for the record, that ride is terrifying. So.
Because we share a name.
Kindred M's over here.
All names have the same fear, obviously.
Wouldn't that
It's
be
part
a
of our
weird?
default setting.
Wouldn't that be a weird world rule?
Yes, it would be.
Fears are defined by your name.
Hmm.
We're gonna start live world building as we go. Okay. To round out some non-spoilery, just for funsies stuff, I have some silly questions.
I love silly questions.
That we can just roll through. Chat, feel free to keep throwing us stuff if you want to, or if you have spin-off questions in the nature of these. But I think maybe we'll just go around the table. I'll just ask you who is the most likely to XYZ. That's what these prompts are, and you'll answer, and then we can maybe argue about it or whatever. So, Katie, I'll start with you, if that's okay. Who is the most likely, and we'll talk characters here. So, Jack, Gingham, Crunk.
Yeah.
Who is the most likely to join a pyramid scheme and mean it?
Crunk.
What? I can't possibly mean it if I don't understand it.
But that would be the beauty of it.
That would be
is
why you
that's
mean it.
The sincerity of it all. Crunk wouldn't really know it's a pyramid scheme,
That's
but he'd
actually
really
true.
believe in it.
That's actually
Chestnut
true.
told me to.
Yeah.
Jack told me to.
Whoa,
Gingham
whoa,
handed me a
whoa.
pamphlet.
I don't like that you're looping Jack into this as being
See,
partly
RLU
responsible.
agrees with me.
That's so messed up. Come on, man.
Yes, chat. Thank you, RLU. I want to hear your votes too, as we respond to these questions. Chaser, do you agree with this assessment?
100%.
Okay.
Sorry, Crunk.
Okay, no hesitation.
Wow.
from
Okay.
Chase. Okay. Who is the I guess I gotta go in an order here. Let's see. That was Katie. I'll go to M. Who is the most... Wait, I've lost my spot. Hold on. Okay, who's the most likely to win a reality TV cooking competition without magic?
Well, obviously that's Gingham. Gingham has the highest craft, but however, actually, I think Gingham might strike themselves from the record. I'm pretty sure they only eat cotton.
Oh,
Hey.
that's a good point.
Like,
Would Gingham
if
even
Gingham
know the
can't
taste?
the food,
But
then
Gingham
how
has
are they-
super taster.
I do.
Gingham has super taster, which
But
seems
is it
relevant.
in order to detect like the goodness of flavors, or is that just to be like, that rancidity is poison?
Don't eat that.
Don't
Why?
eat that.
Why
This
couldn't
one?
it be all of it?
Blue cheese? Why not a pound?
Okay.
So are you
So-
sticking with Gingham or are
No,
you going with
I'm gonna
someone
stick
else?
it with Crunk, and let me tell you why.
Okay.
Crunk does have ranks in crafting and has 2 mouths to taste with.
I could see
Chase is
Crunk.
nodding.
Two that we know of.
That's
Should be
true.
more.
Ah,
For,
Talk about
I
the
mean, like,
secret
who
tongue.
knows when M's gonna reveal another
No,
stomach?
no,
Ah.
there's more.
There's gonna be one in the kneecap for some reason, and
Patrick
Crunk
thinks
would
that Crunk
be-
would beat up the competition and win that way.
Never. That's not fair. If I accidentally bumped into them a couple of times and they fell very hard, that's a totally different thing.
I feel like Crunk might be disqualified for like the hygiene risk of having a mouth tummy. If like the drool is just like uncontrollable, you know? I don't know. Could be tough. I think it would depend on the nature of the cooking competition
Mhm.
too, you know. This is like cutthroat, then maybe so. But all right. I guess it's to Chase now. Let's see. Who is the most likely to accidentally become a cult leader?
To accidentally become a cult leader? Gingham.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I have no hesitation in my body.
Gingham could like be worshipped and probably not even know that they were being worshipped. So
yeah. Well,
Yeah, and they would do something weird and impressive. That
what are you
people
guys,
would be
what are
like,
you all
"What?"
talking about? Are you all forgetting season 1 wheedling and jigging a dragon into submission?
That's true.
yeah. I mean, like Gingham is very smart, but not super aware, or at least plays off that they're not aware. But
That's
Yeah.
true.
maybe that's all part of an evil plan that I made.
could
up.
be.
Katie, no spoiler. I'm just kidding.
It's just a maybe.
RLU agrees that it's Gingham for the cult
That's
leader.
That's fair.
Okay, now it's me. All right. Who is the most likely to open a spa for adventurers and actually make it work? and actually make it work.
We did a TikTok like this where we dunked your faces in water. That
Yeah,
was fun.
yeah, we still have the video out there, and we'll
Everybody
put
go
it-
get a bowl of water really quick.
we'll put it onto the interwebs eventually. I think Patrick said Chase, maybe starting his Spotlight adventures and making it work.
I would
Okay.
love
That
to
is
do
the
that.
most clever answer there
I'm
is,
thinking
actually.
about this.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna say Jack, only because I don't think he would be that interested in like the spa. Like, I guess I just think Jack would be the most likely to open a business and actually make it work. I think of everyone, Jack probably has the best business sense. And maybe I'll get flamed for saying that, but that's what I'm gonna say. So I think he would not care about the, spa stuff. He just he would find out that there's quick cash in that line of work, and he would figure out how to make it easy.
See, and Emily is speaking my thoughts because my immediate thought was, well, Guy could do it.
Guy could totally do it. That's a good answer. Guy could absolutely do it. Guy would
I was-
sooner do it than Jack.
This is kind of like a little split off and a reminder of season 1 of Stolen Fate. But y'all remember that time that Crunk ate a little bit of Guy's essence?
I haven't forgotten. I haven't stopped thinking about it.
You
Wasn't
like
that
to
season
remind
2?
us. That was
Pretty
season
sure
It was
season
season
1.
2. It was season
No.
2.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. That was at the very
It's
beginning.
early season
Okay,
2,
yeah.
but
If you're here in this chat, hopefully you've at least gotten that far in season 2. Yeah,
Good
I do
times.
remember that.
I was almost disappointed when Guy came back.
That's why I asked Em. I
Wow.
think it got lost in like just all of our talking. But oh wait, hang on. This is a spoiler. I'll bring this up later. But
Okay.
I have not forgotten that you ate part of Guy, which still disturbs me to this day. Okay, we'll go one more round here. So back to Katie. This is a little bit different. We're doing fandom crossovers here with these questions. So, I think we maybe should expand this question a little bit, but we'll stick with the base for now. So, Katie, who would fit right in as a student at Hogwarts, and which house would they be in? And then I kind of want us to answer the question of which house each character would be in, because I feel like that's fun. So, who would fit in as a student at Hogwarts the best?
Well, Crunk's from the Magambia, so it would be Crunk, because Crunk's already had the education and Magambia. And Crunk would be Gryffindor.
Obviously, yeah.
Super
concur
obviously
all
Gryffindor.
around.
Yeah. I think that Jack might actually fit in really, really well with Draco's squad.
Slytherin.
Yeah.
Jack's definitely a Slytherin. Yeah, there's no question about that. But
The question is Gingham Slytherin or is Gingham Ravenclaw? Because I'm
Gingham
getting...
feels Hufflepuff to me.
No.
No.
Gingham.
you
So
you
here's
sweet little Hufflepuff child.
here's the thing. Gingham wouldn't be a student. Gingham would be palling around with Peeves the poltergeist.
all the ghosts,
Yeah.
you could still be a student and palling around with the ghosts.
No. Gingham would become a fixture in the castle. With something
Yeah,
else.
I can definitely see you like being planted in a pot by like Hagrid or something. I don't know Harry Potter very well.
No,
I'm
that's
sorry.
that's
Am I saying
herbology.
accurate things?
No.
Where does Willem belong?
Willem
Is a
Ravenclaw.
professor.
Willem probably is a Ravenclaw, yeah. And he's like a Gilderoy Lockhart kind of professor, but he
Oh,
does
he
actually
really is.
does actually know things. He's like a Gilderoy Lockhart with like who can also back up the talk, but
So
just
is
as
he-
obnoxious.
Okay, but so then wouldn't he be more of a Mad-Eye?
No, because Mad Eye's like crazy and aggressive.
But Mad-Eye's competent, whereas Lockhart's not. We're getting into never mind.
Yeah,
We should pull
we're
back.
getting off track here. But Willem would definitely be an obnoxious professor.
Yes.
And
Whoa. I prefer the term thorough.
No one else does.
chat has concluded that Gingham is Ravenclaw. So
All right.
I
well
relent.
spoken. Okay, so back to M. which of I guess we can expand to NPCs too. Which of us would replace a main character in Avatar: The Last Airbender? And which one would you swap with?
Whoa.
Jack
a
would
tough
be Zuko.
That is what I was thinking. Yeah.
That's fair. He is ripe for the moody arc of redemption. Yeah.
I mean, do I have to place all of us?
Oh, the question was only for one, so
Okay,
any more
thank
you would be
goodness.
overachieving.
That was the easiest one.
Okay.
Jack is
Jack
Zuko.
is Zuko.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
So
Arlo
many
was
people
on it so fast.
right on top of it. Okay, Chase. Let me see. Who of us would make the worst Pokemon trainer?
Which of you would make the worst Pokemon trainer? Crunk? Probably
Wow.
Crunk.
Really?
It's just like, I feel like Gingham would be the type of trainer that would like just really focus on taking care of their Pokemon and bonding with them. And Jack would be like the vicious Gary type character that would go out and try to be the very best. And I think Crunk just wouldn't really get it. Crunk would be like, why are we doing this? Like,
I'd
be
have
free
one drug
creatures. Yeah, you would fit better on Yu-Gi-Oh!
One
That's
Pidgey.
true.
Yeah, that's fair. Who would everyone's starter Pokemon be? Chase, follow-up question.
Who would everybody's starter Pokemon be? Does it have to be like an actual starter?
I have Krunks picked out, and it's not a starter.
Okay, sure. You can just, what's everyone's signature Pokemon? How about that?
All right, Gingham's would be Ghastly.
Oh, Gingham and Ghastly hanging out. That would be so cute.
I mean, Jack has established maybe Zigzagoon.
I don't know Pokemon well. I stopped after the original. I'm so sorry, but I'll
No,
look it
that's
up right
fair.
now.
And then I don't know
Keep
why,
going.
but Crunk's giving me Squirtle vibes.
No, I'm gonna argue with you. Krunks is Wobbuffet. Comes out.
That's pretty funny.
Whenever the hell.
That's actually good.
Yeah.
Oh my
See,
gosh,
I was thinking
Zigzagoon is
Krunks
so
would be
cute.
Togepi.
Crunk with a Togepi is so cute.
Crunk with the Togepi, just like
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
a Wobbuffet or a Togepi.
And I fight all of the Pokemon instead of Togepi.
Crunk goes into battle.
Learn from me, little one.
Now
You can't
Togepi.
disintegrate the Pokemon, Crunk.
They don't come back from that.
Oh, I'm gonna need the fan art. I'm gonna have to draw it myself, probably.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I do need to see Crunk with a Togepi now. And I get Zigzagoon, of course, because it's like a raccoon Pokemon. That makes sense. Okay. It's just me now for this last. Okay, who would thrive in Star Wars as a Jedi or Sith?
I think Jack would
Ugh.
struggle as a Jedi.
Oh, if Jack
Jedi,
if Jack ends up as a Jedi, he's going the straight Anakin arc. Let's be
I was gonna
honest.
say, Jack's got
He's
big
not
Anakin vibes.
He's not making it as a Jedi. I think Crunk would probably thrive. Crunk already has like code of honor, do the right thing. He's very principled. And
Crunk
like
has a lot of emotions.
yeah, but like I think Crunk would be like an Obi-Wan kind of Jedi, Like Obi-Wan is not emotionless, but like ultimately Obi-Wan is like, I'm a stick with this order, this is what I'm about.
Okay.
So,
Crunk
Yeah.
practically turns his sword into a lightsaber already.
yeah,
So.
yeah. Crunk is
Such a
halfway
good
there anyway.
point.
That's true.
Okay. Friends, we have Ryan said Jack would 100% use the Force inappropriately.
100%.
Inappropriately. That's an inappropriate use of the Force, Jack. That would be Crunk.
That would be Crunk. I could just
Together
hear it in
as
his
little
voice.
Padawans. Yeah. We don't do that as Jedi.
Come now, Jack. Leave them alone. You need to use your powers for good.
Yeah.
Corner.
Gingham. Little Yoda Gingham.
Grogu Gingham.
Oh,
Gingham.
Grogu Gingham. Perfect. Okay. We are kind of at the end. We're nearing the end of our spoiler free. I want to do some very fast chase questions. Kind of in the spirit of the dunking our faces in water chase. Are you ready?
Yeah,
Except
I'm
we
ready.
have no water to dunk our faces in, which
Sad.
is fine.
We'll make do.
Okay.
Just hit your face on the desk very lightly.
Hit our face on the desk.
What about
Maybe
on the
don't do
mic?
that. Tap on the mic. Dong.
Just boop the space bar with your nose.
Okay. Here you go, Chase. You're talking about players now.
Okay.
Us.
Okay.
In IRL.
All right. So it's personal.
So, yeah, it's personal now. Who is the most likely to ask to do something real quick and derail the whole session?
Tori.
Yep. Who would be the DM's favorite? I guess this is a little bit character, but who would be the DM's favorite NPC if the roles were reversed?
Katie. She makes really fun noises with weird creatures that make good NPCs.
Who is the most likely to hoard inspiration points like a dragon?
Inspiration points like a dragon. Probably Jack.
Hoard inspiration points?
Yeah, you save onto your.
Hoard
No,
it.
that's probably
I'm running on low
that's
all
probably
the time.
M.
I always have 3.
Yeah.
M is the one that's always like, you're spending your last one.
Yeah, I'm like, I only have one. I only have the one ever.
That just seems like poor preparation, Tori.
You should really start saving them
What are
up.
you doing?
I'm like, I
You know
would
you can
if I
roll them
weren't.
over from session to session.
I would if I weren't dying every session.
Have you considered rolling better so that you don't have to use them so frequently?
Yeah, I will tell you guys, I am putting my dice through a very hardy training regiment in these break between seasons. So
You should.
we'll see if it works. Okay, Chase, who's most likely to write fan fiction about the rest of the party?
M.
Who is the
That
most
was
likely to
fast.
min-max their character sheet to hell and back?
M.
Who's the most likely to forget how their class features work every session?
Katie.
Who is the most likely to always try to seduce the NPC no matter what?
Tori.
Who is the most likely to roleplay a heartfelt monologue and then immediately break character?
Katie.
Who's most likely to actually write a 10-page backstory and expect
M.
you to use all of it? Okay. I just didn't even get to the end of the question.
Had me at right.
Who is the most likely to cry first during an emotional scene?
Tori.
Who gets
Or me.
way You really?
I'm choking back tears a lot of the time.
Oh, that's tender. Who gets way into making character playlists?
M or Katie. They're like kind of split on that.
Who is most likely to secretly plan an entire spin-off campaign in their head?
M.
Who is this is going to be M2, I'm sorry, M, but here's a softball question. Who's most likely to insist, I'm not a rules lawyer, and then cite page numbers?
Yeah, that's M.
I just like to understand how things work.
And then who is most likely to break Chase so hard that he has to mute himself?
Oh man. I don't know. All of you. That one bounces around.
It's a group effort,
Yeah.
team effort.
Yep.
We actually coordinate, Chase. We
You
see how
take
often we
turns.
pass
Whose turn
by.
is it?
Who was gonna
tonight?
break Chase today?
Yep. Okay, well, everyone, we have reached the end of our non-spoiler section. So I think most of the people hanging out in chat have probably watched to the end, but in case you haven't, consider yourselves warned. And in case you're listening to this or watching it later and you haven't finished yet, what are you doing? Go back and finish the other episodes.
And come back.
And then come back. Yeah, come back for this part.
It's about to get real.
Okay, actually, one last non-spoiler question from Ryan. What is everyone's most memorable game that isn't Stolen Fate, and why?
Like a
I'm gonna go
streamed game?
first. I think it's open to interpretation. Most memorable game that isn't Stolen Fate. I think I would say, oh gosh, I was gonna say Vaesen, but Tabletop Treasure Hunters was also really good when I played Teal Tinbrook, and I think I'm gonna have to say that just because of that crit success where I jumped off. My boyfriend to be jumped off the side of an airship. Spoiler for this series. And Teal jumped after him. She hopped on the back of a drake and flew down and nat 20'd and tamed the drake. And it was the most amazing thing that I think I've ever done in a TTRPG. Yes,
But
Em.
Tori,
Mhm.
what about the time in Vaesen when you were like blind and like roiling through a ship and you rolled 100d6?
Rolling 100d6 was also really cool. It did kind of end a little badly, but it
The
was
cost
cool.
was worth it. It was
Yeah.
so epic.
Listen, Vaesen, really close second. It's like it depends on the day. You know, my answer would change tomorrow. They're
Mhm.
neck and neck. I'm gonna
Sure.
go with that. What about you, Em?
Oh, that was really hard toss. Okay, I would say the game that we're recording right now, maybe. It's just like clawing. I was telling everyone that it was just leaping and clawing its way to the top of my favorites list. I am loving Ryutama. I'm just saying. It's not done yet. I can't say it's officially the most memorable game, but I love it so far.
Yeah, Ryan, that was a direct hit for Em. So good on you.
I almost cried last night while we were recording.
Oh. Katie,
No, I hate
what
all
about
of them.
you?
Everything's bad.
Checks
This whole
out.
experience is painful for Katie.
This whole experience is painful, and I'd rather not be here. Raiden was really fun. I liked Raiden.
Tabletop
Yeah.
treasure hunters.
Tabletop treasure hunters. Probably that's like out there and on the internet. There's a few home games that are also pretty memorable.
All right, Chase. What about you?
Man, Tabletop Treasure Hunters is like my baby because I put so much work and thought into that one. But I think that Vaesen is my favorite story that we've told.
Mm.
I loved our Vaesen campaign. It was so good.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
Vaesen is probably my favorite game that I've played. Like a system. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Vaesen's
a
really good.
System.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. Fun question.
Thanks for the question, Ryan. And thanks for the question, everyone else who's dropped them. Now we're going to get into talking about the actual season. Before I forget, here's the... okay, so here, spoiler warning has been released. We're going all into it. What I was going to say earlier is at the very finale, when you took Gingham's body, I think it got lost in just all of us talking, but I asked if you were going to eat a piece of Gingham. Because Gingham had died.
Well, there wasn't
maybe
any essence there. If there was essence to slurp, I would have done it with my final breath.
How
Spent
do
the
you
whole
know? You
action.
cut Guy's chest open to find the essence. How do you know there wasn't essence inside
Oh, I
Gingham?
forgot that I did that. I just thought it was kind of just floating there. I don't remember. That's a little more brutal than I recalled. I stand by it though.
Okay. Yes, but that is exactly what you did. You carved him open, and then the tongue went inside of the body and slurped it out.
You were very visceral
Yes.
in
Well,
that
I pictured
whole
that-
description.
Crunk's mouth tummy on the mat. Yeah, the mouth that's on the tummy. I can never say that correctly. Is kind of like long, like a mimic's, like the standard chess mimic. So I just pictured it kind of slurped out, circled up, pulled it back in.
Sorry, was that description supposed to make it better?
Yeah.
Or like, okay.
So it didn't.
You feel better,
Feedback.
right?
No.
No, that's
Everybody feels
exactly how I
better?
was picturing it, actually. I've always pictured your mouth, tummy, tongue as like the slithery mimic tongue.
Same. With
Really
the
I'm
sharp
happy
upsetting.
that we're all on the
rows.
same page here.
Yeah. And welcome, Samuel. No worries, you forgot this was happening. We've just started unpacking season 2 questions. So
Spoiler season 2
yeah,
questions.
full of spoilers now.
Yeah. Be warned.
Okay. We're just gonna kind of kick it around. So yeah, people feel free to keep leaving questions now. The spoiler guards are off, so anything you want to know. I am gonna hop back to a question that was kind of at the beginning. Emily just wanted to know all our opinions on our own character arcs this season. Just sort of, I assume, kind of how those felt and what we liked about them. And I actually myself wrote down kind of a related question, like for us to think about is just what like how would you describe how your character changed this season? Like kind of how they have developed, and if anything about that surprised you. Or like I guess to Emily's question, what you thought about it in general. That's a big old question to answer. Uh do you have thoughts? I can go first if you need some vamping time.
Me?
Yeah. I
So for my
because I already
own
made Katie kind of answer it halfway, so
fair. So for Krunk's arc this season, he really had to step into a more leadership role, which he was not very comfortable with. Like he has the ability to stand strong and up for what he believes in, but he doesn't actually like too many eyes on him. And so the whole like arc where we went, what was it called? I can Everyone's gonna see how I don't know how to say any names anymore.
that's been recorded. That people already know that.
I thought you were editing that out, Tori.
I was putting it in the bloopers. That's where I was putting it.
So yeah, Katapesh, was it in Katapesh where
Yeah.
Kronk was really having to be a ruler? That was very difficult, and then accidentally offending Gingham left and right, and not really knowing why Gingham was angry, and having to be the person that stood by those decisions that weren't necessarily in alignment with his belief. That was really hard. So Kronk's had a rough go of this season all around. He hasn't enjoyed his character arc.
Was any of it surprising to you in particular?
I was absolutely 100% shook when Chase put me on the spot as the chosen. I thought that was going to be Jack. I thought Jack was gonna like overcome this dark side and be the leader we all needed. And no, we're literally carrying this decrepit body along with us. Like, I don't want to even be here anymore.
Is Jack the decrepit body?
Yes. Just like the kid that's like limp at the mall being dragged.
My legs have stopped working.
Yeah.
That
100%. Maybe we should just give up. That's what Kronk has to deal with all the time is maybe we should just give up. And then, oh, it doesn't really matter if we die.
Hey.
He's working with the cards he's been dealt with.
So do you feel like Krunk has grown into his leadership by the end? Like, do you think that is his arc, or do you think that's something he's still struggling with?
Well, I mean, towards the end of the season, he and Jack got into several tiffs. So I think he is growing into the role that he has to be. And I think that there's probably going to be fights going forward. But yeah, I think he's settling.
With
I don't
Gingham
think
Daddy's
he's
just
settled.
leading Jack now, so maybe it'll be more of a babysitter role.
Hey, and listen, I will say Jack is going to be in a much better mood now that his mom is dead for real, and he doesn't have to call to worry about it anymore. So that could do wonders for his mood.
Fix everything.
Yeah. Jack is going to be a whole different person. That's true, but she's not like she at least is not like waiting for him in the afterlife and guaranteed to like stake a claim on his soul for all eternity.
Allegedly.
At least as far as we know. So
as far as
we know,
a little rainbow shoots across.
Yes. Katie, anything you want to add to your previous answer about sort of like how you feel like Gingham changed over the season, and if any of it was surprising to you?
I mean, I guess the only other thing is Gingham trying to forge a relationship more with like Krunk, because all of season 1, Gingham was accidentally offending Krunk in every single way possible. So there was just kind of relationship forging that I think Gingham was doing. Not that it was all successful, because someone's god made them forget about a key point in life. No big deal.
What are you talking about? I don't remember that.
Yeah, no, me
I
either.
do. I got a nat 20.
It affected Jack too, or Tori
Yeah,
too. Look at that.
Jack Tori forgot.
Jack totally forgot. But I don't know if any of it was surprising. necessarily.
The dying, maybe.
Well,
Wow.
there's
Why did
Wow.
you do that?
Rude. Chase was just getting bored over there. He's like, I need to insert myself into this
Can you ask
conversation.
Chase a
So-
question, please?
I don't know if you two have noticed, but Chase has, since the spoiler cap came off, said Gingham is dead 3 times now.
Gingham is dead. Gingham is dead.
Hey, did you guys know I killed Gingham?
Gingham's dead, by the way. Did you know that?
I just wanted to point out that Chase is already delighting in saying that Gingham is dead.
I've been holding back all the chatter. in the
Add one to
spoiler-free
the
zone.
body count, Chase.
I have a pretty low body count, to be honest.
And
Not
most of them
from-
are Katie's characters.
Yeah, I was gonna say from my perspective, it's not very low.
Listen, Katie is a player who really likes to dig into the consequences of their actions for their characters.
I didn't know. How was I supposed to know?
Yeah, that did not seem like a very foreseeable consequence to actions. But as far as Jack's arc, I think this was a very Act 2 kind of arc for Jack's character. You know, like Act 1, you kind of like the character, like in a typical 3-act story, you know, you have Act 1 and it's sort of like you're getting to know the character and it's like, you know, more and more is happening. And then Act 2 is like when everything goes terribly wrong and they are at their lowest point. And I really feel like Jack got there several times. Every time I thought like, man, this is really Jack's low point, Chase would like throw us into some other terrible situation. And I'd be like, oh, man, okay, this is Jack's low point. And then the next thing would happen. I'm like, I don't know how much more of this he can take. So yeah, Jack's arc was just a slow descent into desperation and hopelessness. It was pretty depressing, gotta be honest. I think that kind of surprised me to be actually because I like in the first handful of episodes, I really did feel like Jack was on a more positive trajectory. Like after kind of all the battling at Harrowcourt, Jack, you know, like rallied and everyone kind of gave him a pep talk and he was like, okay, I'm going to trust my friends more and I'm going to, you know, do better. And I'm trying to think of when exactly that changed. I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint a moment, I guess, but I think like Victoria showing up kind of threw him off and he was just like trying to put a lot of his past behind him, but it just felt like it just relentlessly came back and came back and came back.
It
And
really
then of
felt like your
course,
fate
yeah.
was wicked.
Yes, it did. It felt like he would really couldn't escape it. So I guess good job, Chase. You made it feel oppressive for Jack. And yeah, and then of course the big turning point was when he did decide to steal Krunk's sword and trade it away, which Tori does not regret. I got a 6 sword in return, and we leveled up as a result. But Jack, yeah, that decision definitely cemented something for the worse in him. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I feel like that Jack's arc was. And hopefully now that he's shaken the call, we can get back on track. He can go back toward the light, maybe. We'll see.
Do you think there's ever going to be a moment where Jack and Krunk just don't trust each other anymore?
Gosh, that's a good question. I think I mean I think as long as their missions are aligned, which it's like now I feel like their missions are more aligned than they've ever been, to be honest. So I feel like I mean I guess it'll get sticky if Norgerber ever is like, "Aight, kid, time to turn your back on this Krunk guy and, you know, take
Do
the
you see
cards for
Chase's
yourself," or
smile?
whatever. Look at him! Look at him! He's evil!
I think the relationship between Jack and Krunk with their new sponsors is going to be a very big theme of the next season. So
Okay.
Hey guys,
It's
well, that was a
fine.
little treat for all of us, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Maybe
Have
Jack,
fun.
maybe I've spoken too soon. Maybe Jack's trajectory will not be going up. We'll see.
Did
We'll
anyone
see.
else's blood pressure just like rise, skyrocket?
I feel pretty good.
Oh, okay. I'm so glad.
Patrick says that they think it depends on how the sword resurfaces, which is very valid. If token ever comes up again, like if that event ever comes up or Crunk ever finds out what actually happened to Token, I think that would very seriously damage their relationship. But I don't know, Em, do you agree with that? Or does Jack just think it's a bigger deal than it is maybe actually to Crunk?
I don't know. I think we'll have to find out.
All right. Well, it'll definitely never come up again, so I don't know if we ever will
definitely
find
not.
out.
Can I choose the next question to answer, Tori?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. There was a question asking if Gingham's ending was discussed before it happened. So I feel like this is worth discussing because Gingham's death was definitely like my most debatable player kill. Most divisive one. So yeah, it was discussed ahead of time. This was interesting. Like this was not a TPK where like you players did a bad job and you all died. Like this was kind of meant to happen. I wasn't gonna fully force it. Like if you guys found a way out of it, you could have gotten out of it and I would have ran with the story and I had a backup plan. But like the odds were so stacked against you here. Like you were fighting a mythic level creature with a pocket healer, right? And like you could have reasonably killed Victoria, but then he had the one action, like, let's just bring her back trick up his sleeve. And so that fight was so incredibly difficult. You were nowhere close to winning it. I didn't expect you were going to win it. And so, like, it was kind of meant to TPK there at the end to bring the deity sponsorships into play and give a mythic ascension. And then there was somebody who was meant to have the option to stay behind with the weave. So I did not warn any of the players that they were going to TPK. Like that was I thought about it and I was like, I want genuine reactions, and boy were they genuine. I did kind of prep everybody like might be a rough one tonight. Like everybody just remember what happens when characters die and remember the lines and veils and the X cards. And it's kind of funny because like I told Tori like before the session, I was like, I'm just worried about sticking the landing on this one. Like I hope it goes well. And you can see the moment in this session when Tori's face was just like, you did not stick the landing, Chase.
I was so tilted. I was like, what is happening right now? Chase is a better GM than this. Like, what how did he let this happen? And he's just sitting over there like, sorry guys. Like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we salvaged at the end. I think it ended up pretty cool. But I did talk to Katie because I did have to pick somebody to offer the weave to, and Gingham did feel like the most natural option because Gingham was not tied closely to a deity, and the deity sponsorships are going to be a really big theme in the next season. So, I did talk to Katie and say like, listen, there's an opportunity that might arise where Gingham's death might be a pretty cool arc. Like, how do you feel about it? And Katie was like in for it. And if Katie was not into it, I wasn't going to force kill her character. I would have given some options instead. But I do think that Katie made the right choice and that the alternative options would not have suited Gingham as well. So yeah, it was discussed lightly. Katie didn't know that like it was gonna be like a TPK like that either. So, and Katie was probably like, "What the hell are we all gonna be making new characters, Chase?" Like, how was Gingham gonna have a cool death arc if everybody's dead? But
yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah,
I also just like want to call out that wasn't just tough on us as players, but was like being married to Chase, seeing his like decompress as a GM after that session and just going through the motions of, did that do okay? Was this all right? Do the players end up having a good time even though this very difficult part of the story just happened? And he wrestled with it for a long time. It was a long night of just chatting it back and forth and all the players messaging each other, and Yeah, so I do want to give a moment of kudos to Chase. That was a very delicate situation to pull off.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As vilified as I am for funsies on the internet, I do not enjoy killing characters unless it is well deserved or unless it fits the narrative. But I did have a goal for this season to really make a big impact on a baddie for the end of the campaign. Because, you know, that's always fun. And I think that you guys are really, really going to hate Victoria and the Zon Kuthan group now. So.
Okay, I will not forgive you, however, for bringing Victoria back right after I disintegrated her. I was like, but the resurrection ritual takes just going on and on and on in my head, and had to just bite
She's
my
just
tongue.
like, no, he can just do that. Also, your god powers don't work. Also,
There has to be at least 3 people, and they all have to succeed at checks of. And if Victoria's X level, then that means he needs to spend X amount of components in order to power this ritual. And I was just like, my full Deku nerd brain was going off. I was having a hard time.
Yep. Nope. You know, just angel shit.
Just
Or, you know, evil herald shit.
Evil
So
angel
angry
shit.
at
Yeah.
that. I'm
Yep.
raging.
Yep.
Why even have rules?
You left her all scarred, you know. I was gonna, because I mean, I figured you guys weren't gonna like permanently kill them, so I figured your heroic endings would at least leave some cool scars and marks for, you know, when you inevitably encounter them again,
I'm looking forward to killing her again.
if you
I'm-
can.
Here's the thing. This might be unpopular, but Tori at least, and I don't know if Jack either, is like totally yet on kill Victoria train. There's like a part of me that kind of wants to see the Victoria redemption arc, but I might be way off. I might be way off. I don't know.
That's wild.
I don't know if she can be convinced or swayed, you know, from the path she has chosen. But if anyone can do it, it's Jack. There's literally no one else who could, like, I think that's the one and only way that maybe it happens. And if she does not sway for Jack, then it's just not going to happen. And then we have to kill her. And that's how it's going to go.
That's too bad.
But I'm leaving the door open. I'm like, for that
It's like
potentially to happen. Yeah, it's peeking. Tori's peeking through the door.
Just
Oh,
like-
what's in here? What's in this redemption arc door?
Here's Jackie.
Yeah.
You know, I will say, Patrick saying a good GM has to be an insensitive bastard from time to time. But I want to call out that if there's a character death that is being faced, Chase himself will run through every rule, look at your inventory with you, look at the party's inventory. Like, he will run through everything to make sure that that is the only option. Like, and
Nobody
I
likes
think
to
that's
lose a character from just a silly little misstep.
No one likes to lose a character. So I will say, I don't think you've ever really taken the insensitive bastard route with it. You really do try to help.
He's a very sensitive bastard.
Yes. we're
I'll take
sensitive
that.
bastard.
I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt for you. I don't know if I will actually. It doesn't sound good.
That's just a call out for you, Chase. I appreciate that you do go through that, not just, well, there's 0 and you got nothing left, so like, bye.
Yeah, sucks to suck.
Sucks to suck.
I do like to have the victories feel earned, so I do sometimes have some more brutal sessions than your typical GM. But like I said, I do have a pretty low body count, and the body count I think has for the most part been pretty cool. So
Yeah. Well, on the note of the sad and emotionally traumatic ending, I guess not all 100% sad, but certainly the very emotional ending. Question for the group, I guess. Were there any moments this season that genuinely got you choked up? And Chase, you said you were maybe the most likely to cry. So now I'm really curious. I for myself can say I definitely got choked up at the ending, of course. I was really sad when Jack died and everyone died. And so narrating Jack's final turn, you can probably hear it in a lot of our voices as we're like going through those last moments. I know like my voice is a little quavery because I was like fighting back misty eyes, and I was just like, this is how Jack's story goes. And so I definitely got choked up. And then I remember there was another time when I got choked up in the season. It was early. it was after you guys had given Jack a little pep talk, sort of like after all the battles and in that whole beginning series of the beginning of season 2, and Jack like apologized to you guys for being kind of a shit for a few episodes. But it looks like the apology didn't stick because then he went right back to his old ways. But at least in that moment, he felt bad, and yeah, I got a little choked up in that moment, if I'm recalling correctly. But what about you guys? Any other moments?
I tended to get choked up playing Birch a lot. Funny enough, giving Jack his little pep talks, and yeah.
I love Birch. That's another one. I almost cried when Birch came back to life. That just like
Me too.
on the floor did me in. I was
The
like, I
crawl up
can't.
the shoulder. Hey
Yes.
kid. I was like, I'm done.
I'm done. That's it. That's it. Yep.
Leave it to an animal to coup de grace the feelings.
There was this is such a lame one, and I wasn't like a I'm gonna cry, but it gave me a lot of big feels. Was when Jack went feral in the Bloodworks place and ate some of Crunk. Just like
Yeah.
you could really tell that broke Jack a little bit, which is a little bit offensive, but that's fine. What, Crunk isn't good enough for you to eat?
Oh my
Whoa.
goodness.
Can Crunk take a nap? Tell him
But
to take
like
a
I
nap.
was genuinely as I was so sad for Jack. That just seemed like a line that just hurt Jack's soul.
Yeah. I'm kind of same with you, Em. I didn't get teary in that moment, but like, yeah, I really felt I think that was definitely one of those moments where I was like, this has got to be Jack's slowest.
Yeah.
But Victoria had not yet betrayed us, so it was not in fact Jack's lowest moment.
Oh, the storyline though that really hooked my heart was the one with, oh my goodness, don't tell me her name. Do tell me her name. The lady who
The dwarf
eats
with
the
the
apples.
Oh,
I was so good at remembering her name.
yeah.
Sonore.
Sonore. Yes. Sonore's story, for some reason, like I want to save her more than any other PC or NPC I've ever met.
She was a really interesting character.
She was, and I want to save her, and I have to do like 52 side quests in order to do it. Sam in chat. Oh my gosh,
The
Wombat, I
black boy.
forgot about that. That was
Yeah.
so long ago. What was that? 2021?
Never forget, never forgive.
I don't
Yeah,
even
I
Katie?
really
remember his
liked that
name.
NPC.
Katie, any misty moments? I know that's not really your brand. But
That's an anathema for me. Misty moments. Other than the finale?
No, it could
or
be
the finale. Yeah, you could
I mean,
moments
the
during
finale for sure. Because that was just, I was feeding off of everyone else's emotions. Not that I wasn't also having.
Katie went
feels.
Katie.
tears of rage, tears of sadness, tears of joy.
Yeah, it was actually ending in tears of joy. I just wanted you all to think I was sad. Yeah?
Sorry. No, I just remembered loudly. Please continue.
Remembered loudly. I think that's the Misty one. I mean, I got genuinely mad about something. But, I mean.
Was
it's
it the
pretty
sword?
Yeah, it was the sword. And forgetting. It was the forgetting. Like, me as a person got genuinely mad that Gingham rolled so low. And Crunk's over here with his GD nat 20. I was ready to just, like, toss my entire computer.
Have you considered
Out the
worshipping
window.
Desna? I'd be happy to convert you.
I know where you.
Crunks maybe rolled better dice than any character I've ever seen.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, there's that
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
Lady Fate has my back. Lady Luck, her one of her titles is Lady Luck, and I think it's just so thematic and beautiful, and like the story spread are just gathering around me, their little blobby shapes. So
Yeah.
good.
You guys may have picked up on a few episodes, Katie and I just like, oh, another nat 20. Wow.
Wow.
Great.
Crunk crit
Cool.
again.
I'm just gonna roll a
Excellent. Good
few
for
dice.
you.
200 damage.
Jack and
I
Gingham
will
are
say,
over here trying to
yeah,
just
like,
help.
Can I not die, please, for one session?
Just can I
Yeah.
have some hit points?
Yep. I will say, I had no zero negative 50 patience for any time you complained about your dice rolling. I was like, absolutely not. Get right out of here. Nope.
The
Nope.
curve was too off, even if I was having a bad night.
I'm like, that's evening out the fate of the universe. Okay, like,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll get better at that.
I would say
Wait.
80% of the major foes in this campaign have died to a crunk nat 20. Like,
Yeah.
it's actually out of control. I mean,
and as a
luckily it
magus,
was-
like
yeah.
nat 20 is the best feeling ever as a magus.
It does feel really good.
Because it's
If
like
you-
3 nat 20s in one.
It's
Mhm.
2,
It feels like 3
but it is technically 2.
though.
Tori, I did have one, like my choked up where I thought I might have to call like a pause for a second, was when Crunk had to ask Desna if she could save his friends. That was like having to like get those words out of can you save them? I'll do anything. That was really hard. I don't even remember the exact words. That whole night's a blur. And I'm afraid I will cry if I listen to the episode back.
It's
But
hard
yeah.
for me to say no.
It was hard for you to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. That whole you're right. That whole night was a blur. It's just like one big feelsy roller coaster.
I thought the god interactions were really cool. And both of those got me emotional, actually, between Desna's interaction with Crunk and also Norgaber's interaction with Jack. Like, they're both pretty emotional. Just me watching those happen.
Yeah. They were like very different feelings, but like both were very like, yeah, they were really cool moments. I loved editing that episode. That's my favorite episode that I've edited of ours, period. I was like obsessively working on it because I like picking out music and like I by myself, these poor guys all have to suffer through me like commentating on the edit because I'm like editing the emotional finale and putting music to it and I'm like crying by myself and I'm like someone else has to suffer with me. You guys need to understand, like, it was a lot of fun though.
Happy to
Yeah.
body double that any day.
Oh yeah, no, it was all good. But Patrick asked an interesting question that I think could be cool to talk about, but going, not that we have to dwell on the cannibalism, but all the way back when we were talking about this, Patrick asked how close were any of us to using an X card, and I want to kind of expand that question a little to maybe just like a little peek behind the scenes, like how we use our safety tools, like, or just like sort of how we make sure that we all are staying okay in this very dramatic, sometimes very emotional show that we all do together. So I guess to answer your immediate question, Patrick, I was not close to using my X card. I don't really use an X card like in sort of the typical sense. I think like I would just kind of like call for a pause. Since this is a show we edit after the fact, it's very easy to just like take a second if you need it. But I think I would have kind of been over my personal line if we had started going into like a lot of detail around all of that. And the kind of the level it was at was like, oh, this is rough. And like, let's move on and never talk about this again.
I was
add-
close to taking a big tone shift there. Not an X card, but like that was the Stitcher was like I was going by the books in that section. And so like it was like a section where they could go to a bunch of different places and I didn't know exactly where they were going to go. So I like lightly prepped all of the areas and was kind of part winging it. And as we were going through that, I was like, oh, what the hell is this? This is a shift. A very, really hard right turn into Horrorville. Like,
Chase is
what's
like,
going on?
Can you pick a different card, actually? Let's go someplace else.
But to build off of what Tori said about like our safety tools, as a group, because we have been playing together for 5 years, we have filled out massive amounts of like lines and veils sheets, right? For every game that we play, we generally go through and we're like, okay, so these are the themes that appear in the book, and we review them all together. We put it all in a spreadsheet and people can comment on it anonymously about what they're comfortable with and what they're not comfortable with. And over the years, we have really, I think, learned each other and know how to walk each other's lines, and also to know when we back up. Like, I know I don't do dream shenanigans if we're playing a horror game with Tori. Like the whole night hag business is a no-go. I think that's just something we get used to, and so we don't have to implement that X card as often.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think just knowing each other, like, not that makes safety tools not important, but it is a lot easier to navigate and a lot more comfortable to just like have those check-in conversations. Like when Crunk and Jack were fighting, like M did check in with me on the side and was just like, hey, like, Crunk kind of yelled at Jack, like, was that okay? Are you good? Are we good? And it was fine. But M especially is good with checking in. And Chase is very diligent. I think there was almost not a single session where Chase didn't text me the next morning, because we record kind of late into the night, but text me the next morning and just be like, was that okay? Like, what did you think about
I'm
that?
beating up your
Like,
character a lot.
are you good? Are we still friends? Please still like me, Tori. And then Katie, like the sword thing, I remember was a really big discussion before Jack stole the sword. Like, I knew that was gonna potentially cross some lines for players, and so it was it was a thing. Yeah, we talked about it a lot. Like, is this okay? And what version of this is okay? And how do you think your character would react? And are we okay with that reaction? And so.
And that's a good lesson for anybody doing party conflict. You want to make sure whenever you do party conflict, it stays fun party conflict, because it's a cooperative game, and if the party gets too divided, it can tend to just ruin the fun. So those are always good check-ins to have.
Yeah, that was a really good one to have too.
Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine how pissed Katie would have been if I had just dropped that in like the out of nowhere. Like, yeah, Jack's gonna go sell tokens. See ya. Hope you guys are good with that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think I would have been like, so I have to go for the night. Something is not this.
Katie's like, I'm gonna just go sell a raccoon real fast. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, anyone interested in a sentient raccoon?
Because I've got one, and you can have it. Also, can we summon a hag?
A certain hag, a specific one hag. I'm looking for.
Is there a way
I need some
we
resurrection services.
I have a scroll of resurrection.
You see how this can spiral?
Yeah. Let me just scroll through what other couple questions we have. Let's see.
While you're scrolling for questions, do you want me to discuss anything that we have coming up, Tori?
We can do that at the end. I do. Oh, here's just a fun question. I love doing this every campaign, no matter what. What was your favorite NPC this season? Who was your favorite NPC? You can. NPCs that were in season 1 are also on the table. You can choose them as being your favorite this season if you like. Chase, you have them all in your head. Who was your favorite?
Man, my favorite NPC this season was probably Birch. I know that that's your familiar, but I kind of played him narratively, and I enjoyed playing Birch. I also liked Mordecai.
Mordecai's such a goodie.
I was gonna say Victoria, but that just doesn't seem right anymore. I was just like, look at this like little wholesome addition to our party. She's gonna be like party mom, and she'll be this soothing salve on the raw, angry party conflict. And then she killed us.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have a close tie though that happened right at the end. The ghost lawyer.
Oh, the ghost lawyer was
the
so
card-appointed lawyer.
The card-appointed lawyer.
I also liked the lizard guy with the cut off tongue.
He was cool.
Oh,
Bernadini.
I liked him.
Yeah. I liked the tattoo he gave us. The smiling crocodile.
Emily says her fave is still the woman with the obstacle course in season 1. What a callback! I loved her.
All the way back. The one, that's the one that Jack stole from, right?
Yeah,
I think
yes.
so.
That
Yeah.
The
Keegan
junkyard
caught.
lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of votes for Guy in favorites. We didn't get to see Guy a whole lot toward the end of this season, which is a little bit of a bummer.
Horrorcore is really big now, and he has to manage a lot.
You guys have
He's got a
no
lot to
idea
do.
what's going on in
We
horrorcore
we
right
really
now.
need to give
Whoa,
him a
don't
raise.
say that. What does that mean? What do you mean?
Nothing.
What do you mean?
We already know that Willem betrayed us, so Willem is probably taking it
We don't know
over.
that. We don't know that Willem betrayed us.
Hey, Willem is a good friend, Jack.
You know,
Is he? He's an incompetent friend at best.
Whoa.
At best, for letting
Research
Victoria
is difficult.
into our clutches.
I cannot believe I'm going to do this right now. I really like Willem. And I really
It's been
don't
recorded.
know.
You can't take it back,
I
Katie.
know,
It's on the
I
internet
can't.
now.
On the books.
I can't take this back. I really like Willem, but here's the thing. I like the constant exasperation from Jack towards Willem. I like the fight me energy that Crunk always has with Willem at all times. And then I like Guy for similar reasons because Chase has this ability to draw out this wild, unhinged exasperation for really no particular reason. They're not like bad guys, you know? But Chase draws out this like ire using those two characters.
He knows this is the downside of him knowing us too well.
Yeah, but that's why I like both of those characters is the different ire it draws out in Jack and Crunk.
This is the funny thing about Willem, is that Willem is not in Stolen Fate as written. Willem is a character I created a long time ago in a campaign that Katie ran. And actually, so was Jack. And we ended up not finishing the campaign. So like Tori brought Jack back and I was like, I want to bring Willem back a little bit. But when I made Willem in that campaign, I meant for him to be a very likable character and just nobody did. Everybody was like, oh,
Like,
who is
no.
this guy? He was just a wizard that had a very intense exercise regimen. And and was very close with his familiar. And
Yeah,
maybe
I
a little bit
think
of
your
a
pitch
that was the
was
upsetting part.
your
Everything
pitch
else
was Chris.
acceptable until they're meditating face to face with her
Yes.
tongue flickering across his lips. Her like snake tongue, but still, it was horrific.
Yeah, wasn't your pitch was like Chris Hemsworth, but a wizard,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
But like
That's-
dumb Chris Hemsworth from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it was himbo Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
The concept seems so solid, and yet the execution was something completely different.
I will say Jack and Willem's dynamic was pretty much exactly like you see in Stolen Fate from the moment that they were both created as characters and interacted for the first time. So we've just
That's
carried it
true.
forward. Yeah. And did you pick it? What was your? Oh yeah, you named a couple of favorite NPCs. I guess I have to pick one now. Oh, this is tough. I mean, selfishly, I think Birch as well.
How could it not?
I mean, yeah, how could it not be? But I guess I'll also throw a vote toward Victoria. Again, obviously, like we don't like her now, but I thought that she was very well done. And for being kind of thrown into our midst, like part way through the season, Chase, you did a good job. You did a good job managing to get her to bond with us pretty quickly. And like you made me care about her and like her just so you could rip it all away.
Point
But-
of order, Gingham never liked her.
That's true. Gingham was never on the Trust Victoria train. So
And look where that got Gingham.
Okay.
Just kidding.
You just like saying Gingham's dead. Also, Wombat's killing me with you can love your familiar. You just shouldn't love your familiar.
I had
important
Willem's thesis
distinction.
be on familiars because in Pathfinder as a wizard, you write a thesis. And so I had his thesis be on the more intimate your bond with your familiar, maybe the more power you get.
Hey, the lore doesn't help.
No. Actually, it made it worse. I take back. I know I recorded that, but I can also now take back my
Nope,
comments.
can't hear you. Just take the headphones off. Didn't
No.
happen.
I'm just gonna loop the section where I like Willem.
Shit.
Okay. Let's go a little more rapid fire.
Yeah.
Favorite fight of the season. Favorite combat encounter we had.
The one where we fought the Prince of Wolves.
At the very end or the
Yeah.
beginning? Okay, the very end.
The end fight where everyone was like all in the hallways and Crunk got humongous and then got to drain everybody with the desiccate. Yeah,
Yeah.
highlight.
How could you not pick
It was
that
so
one?
fun.
You nuked the room, basically.
Everybody died.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I know my least favorite fight of the whole season was that freaking tree.
Oh wow,
The
that one sucked so
tree!
bad.
You guys had
That-
a rough time
That's
with that.
that's at the bottom of my list. I'm not sure what's at the top, but that's at the bottom for sure.
I liked the rock fight where Crunk like heroically 1v3'd at the end.
That was pretty cool.
That was fun. I thought that was season 1.
Oh yeah, the 1v3. That was season 1.
Did we fight Vrock? Oh, we did
We
fight
did
Vrox
fight
more than
Brox.
once,
Yeah,
didn't
but
we?
they invaded Harrowcourt. Yeah.
Okay, well then never mind. It was probably the Prince of Wolves.
Also
You
the
liked
end
getting
the end
killed by
battle.
Crunk?
I actually no, I take it back. I think my favorite fight was the Radiant Warden.
Oh, that was
Mm.
that was not that we all had very different experiences during that fight.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
You guys had to get creative with it. You had like unique split up with the party. It was fun. It was like a plan that went really awry and it made for some good story.
The residue damage was killing it, and so we don't even know that it's dead was so funny to me.
You guys
Yeah,
won't, but your
really good.
characters don't
Poor
know.
Gingham was stuck in that elevator for like the entire fight.
Oh my hell.
Gingham just cowering like ah.
Can't do anything.
Ugh. Katie, do you have a favorite combat?
You're gonna the Stitcher because of how it ended.
It was a
Gingham
good
thought they were
ending.
fighting stuffies. I thought that was funny.
That
It
was really
entertained me.
cool.
I also, to be fair, really like horror settings though too. So I thought that whole thing was very cool.
I'm just the like finale, the final arc is like so present in my mind. I'm like trying to think back through before that. Like what were all the things we did before?
You really liked the fight with Victoria and the Solar.
No, I really didn't like that one. I mean, I guess I'll probably pick the Prince of Wolves too, but specifically when it was just down to the Prince of Wolves, because that I think is when like Jack, I felt was one of Jack's most badass moments. Like
Yeah.
he hit him a bunch of times, he melted into shadow, he got the killing blow. Like I felt real cool in that moment. So
I thought Gingham
pick
was
that
gonna
one.
die right there, but Jack came through on it, which was really neat.
yeah, that was a fun one. Okay, favorite Crunk moment. Well, I guess favorite. I'm gonna ask these for all this. So Crunk, Jack, Gingham. So just start thinking now of the favorite moments that just, or a moment you liked. Maybe favorite is too much pressure, but just Crunk, Jack, Gingham moment that you liked. I'll say I liked Jack getting high. That was very funny to me. I don't know that was my favorite Jack moment of the season. It just popped in my head though, and I liked it and thought it was funny.
Yeah, man.
My
This
favorite
is-
Jack moment was when he offed his mom at the end. My favorite Crunk moment was him dealing with the Pact Masters and like having to get involved in politics for the first time. And my favorite Gingham moment was, man, I want to say the end as well. I like how you integrated with the weave, but I also liked how you kept bonding with Krunk to like make him the sword and everything, and it kept looking like everything you did was cursed.
That was funny.
Yeah, that did happen.
As a character, Krunk had a lot of reasons to distrust Gingham. As a player, I was empathetic as hell.
It was just all slightly wrong. Like,
Mhm. I think that my favorite Krunk moment might have been when this is probably not my favorite. That's just something that stands out to me is when he went to the temple and he was like, "Hey, I need to learn how to be better with the sword, and maybe we could talk about," and she just stood up and just like started attacking him. I was so alarmed. I thought it was going to be a much more badass moment than that. And instead, he just got attacked and then went to sleep.
Yep, that's all that happened.
Just dead in a shit.
I liked a Krunk moment was when he decided to consecrate Jack's home for him for the funeral.
Oh my gosh, I
Stole
loved
mine.
that arc.
Oh, sorry, Katie.
It's fine. I can think of another one.
I really liked the moment where Jack screamed Victoria's name when he realized that she was betraying him.
Devastating.
Sorry.
It's okay. It was a good moment. Katie, I'm
And
not
then
going to say
James-
anything else because I don't want to steal a moment from you.
No, keep going. I'm thinking of moments.
Okay. Go ahead, Em.
And then for my Gingham moment, it was maybe when Gingham was like, "Hey, I'm putting this thing on your sword. Chop down that tree like your sword is an axe." He's like, "That's not gonna work." And Gingham's like, "No, it'll work. Trust me." And then whips over and starts talking to Jack as in the background, Crunk's walking towards the tree to cut it down.
What the hell,
This is
Krunk?
going to be fine.
This is gonna be great. That was my favorite, like, little "I'm gonna trust Gingham," and it didn't go well at all.
The
Oh,
only
I've got my
time-
Gingham moment too. I loved Gingham coming in Katapesh and coming into the room and being like, "I think I started a coup." Or like, I agreed to start a coup, and we're just like,
Oh, yeah.
"Excuse me? What? What are you talking about?"
Randomly agreeing to go fight a lich. It's fine.
Yeah. That was a good one.
That actually ties into my favorite Krunk moment, which is him taking the stand of, "No, I will not support a lich. I will not pretend to support a lich." No, like it just showed Krunk's like very true to himself nature of like, "I'm not even gonna pretend to do this," and it wasn't in a vanity way either. It was, I know what is correct, and I am not going to have my image even risk being tainted by showing support for a lich, guys. And I thought that was really cool that Krunk took that stand. Favorite Jack moment.
It was when I sold Token. We all know that was Katie's favorite.
It was when you sold Token. Keep going back to the ending, but Jack's third action of his final turn, taking his fate into his own hands, I thought was really cool. That's what you used your third action for instead of like one more big crit. Jack took something into his own hands.
Yeah, rather darkly.
Rather
I
darkly,
did talk to
but-
Chase about that beforehand. I was like, I don't want this to come off like just, straight up like trigger warning suicide, like, but it just felt like that's what Jack would do in the end if he felt like it was really all over.
Yeah. And I thought it was cool because you have this whole season of Jack, like Em said, toddler mode, feet on the ground, limp bodying along the entire season. And then at the end, he stands up for himself.
It's very elegantly handled for such a dark subject.
Yeah.
Thank you. Did you say favorite Gingham moment?
I have a favorite Gingham moment.
I hope so. There's so many good ones to choose from.
So weird. Probably when they got to present this new sword to Crunk.
Authority.
Yeah, Authority.
Or no, Alliance.
Is that the newest one? Is
The
Alliance?
newest one was
Alliance.
Alliance because it was the alliance between us, and Authority was the one that he got from Catapesh.
Right. Yeah, I liked that moment. Just it was a new way to connect with Crunk. Of like, here, I made you this because I know your other sword is gone. And here's how I'm trying to get over that.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Emily called out her favorite moments in chat. Favorite Crunk moment is his obsession with bringing the monster heads up to the mountain man. I actually freaking love the mountain man and Crunk interacting. It's so funny. I should have said the mountain man is one of my favorite NPCs. He's hilarious. Yeah, he's a good NPC. I also always am picturing the Yeti from Monsters Inc. as the mountain man.
That's so good.
Favorite gingham moment, I agree, that was the fight with the Stuffies. That was a good gingham moment. And Jack moment was the moment of vulnerability we saw when Birch died. It's very upsetting.
Moment of honorable mention, the Fight Club.
Oh my gosh, the Fight Club. Where Jack almost got one shot.
Yeah,
and then
you were
Gingham,
like two nat ones in a row or something
Gingham did the
ridiculous.
same
and then
thing.
Gingham did the same thing. Chase
Yeah.
almost killed us both
In a Fight Club.
in a downtime session. You're muted, Chase. Chase, you're muted.
Chase.
Unmute
Tell us
yourself.
what you're saying.
Wow. I said, what an anticlimactic ending that would have been.
Yeah,
Can you
that's the real
imagine?
spoiler.
They went to Fight Club and died.
They never came back.
Hero point.
Yeah.
How did I do on that one again?
Pretty
You
good.
came in and wrecked? Yeah, you did okay. You wrecked
Okay.
him.
Okay.
She was hoping
good.
that we would say nat 20. I don't think you nat 20 that one.
Wouldn't that have
Might
been
have.
so
I wouldn't
good?
put it past Crunk.
It's true.
Anybody remember? Anybody remember from that episode?
I don't think you nat 20'd,
It's
but
not standing out
you
as a
did
nat
beat
20.
you did beat them.
And what are you talking about? The Fight Club? The
Yeah,
when
the
you-
underground fight club in Harrowcourt.
Yeah, we were gonna go and you were supposed to fight, and then if you win, you get something cool.
We retrain our feet is what it was.
It was a
Yes,
thing.
that's what it was.
Downtime activity where you might get beaten to death.
Yeah, I did it. Jack did it to get Birch back. So it's for a very good reason.
Right.
But then he almost died. Oh boy. That would have been a very different season, wouldn't it have been? All right. Maybe we can start to wrap up with these last I have two more questions. Does that sound okay to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Plus any last questions? This is the last call for questions in chat, so drop them in there if you got them.
There was
This is-
one.
Oh, did I miss it? What was
there
it?
was one that says, "I know you need a break, but when is Stolen Fate?"
Oh,
coming back?"
yes, we will have a little we could take a quick little break and talk about our future plans briefly. Yeah? So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we said around August time-ish. Toward mid end of August, I think is around when we are hoping to start publishing season 3, right, Chase?
Yep.
Okay.
And we're starting to record it rather soon, towards the end of the month. So
Yeah, we have not yet started recording it, so.
Yep.
But yeah, it'll hopefully be rolling out to you sometime in August. In the
I just
meantime,
finished prepping the first session today, actually.
really?
I did.
Oh, I'm
I'll
nervous.
miss playing with you guys.
Yeah, Katie's out of the show. Katie's not coming back.
Nope.
Hi, Katie.
Full
Yeah, bye,
survivor.
Katie.
Crunk and Jack show. It's junk for real.
The fanfic
Can
is gonna
I-
go crazy.
There is a
My
little bit of
ex
truth to
Carmen.
that.
It is.
Yeah. Well, but anything you want to say about season 3, Chase? That's not too much of a. I don't know how much you want to tip your hand one way or another, but just anything
Yeah, we can
you
talk
want
to these
to.
lovely people that showed up. I mean, yeah, Katie's coming back, but Katie and Tori and Em are not going to be playing together for a bit. We have another cast member coming in, and we're going to be doing sessions of 2 and 2 for a little bit. And then eventually they will intermingle. But we're going to be doing 2 storylines that are going to cross together. So, yeah, should be a fun time.
And Katie is a new character.
Yeah,
Just
it
to
will
be
not
clear.
be Gingham. Though I will say that Gingham is still going to be kind of present in the campaign because Katie is going to have some fun decisions to make because Gingham left interacting with the Weave, and there are some mechanics around that. So Gingham is going to be able to control little bits of fate, and Katie will have a limited number of resources to do so throughout the entire campaign. So
Oh my gosh.
that'll
Did
be
you
fun
just
for you,
give me
Katie.
phenomenal cosmic power?
Limited phenomenal cosmic power.
Okay. I'll take limited phenomenal cosmic power.
Yeah. So in the meantime, as M said in chat, we will be dropping a handful of mini campaigns, one-off kind of games that we're just playing for funsies. I mean, we play all of our games for fun, but we're doing a little arc of Ryutama, as mentioned previously. That is a nature-based, nature-inspired TTRPG from
It's like
Japan.
Final Fantasy meets Oregon Trail. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's very fun, very cozy, very just
Whimsy.
pastoral and pretty. Yeah, it's very nice. It'll be a breath of fresh air after Stolen Fate. And that shout out to Ryan. Ryan sent us that game, sent M that game. Ryan is so kind, sent each of us a game. And we don't have all of them scheduled out yet, Ryan, just so you know if you're still there in chat, but we do want to play each of them on our show. So we're starting with Ryutama, and we will cycle through the rest of them at some point. Then, as I mentioned, I guess you know what? I guess I'll just commit. I'll do it live. I'm committing now on the internet. It's going on the record. I'll do Daggerheart. I'll do at least a session or two of Daggerheart. And we'll see what that's all about. So, yeah. I think those are our plans in the break time, right?
Patrick said sounds like a ton of work for Chase with the two character arcs meeting together. And I will just say that part's not a ton of work, but we did bring this new cast member in, and I didn't even think about it. I was like, just create a character really quick. And I was like, an 18th level Pathfinder 2nd edition with free archetype and mythics, and our poor new player. It's been a lot of work to get that character made, but the two parties will not be so much work. But making the new character for our new cast member, and for, I'm sure, Katie making a new 18th level character, it's been a bit.
It's been an adventure.
They've been a great sport,
and
though.
I know Pathfinder.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. We just got art in for the two new characters. We're getting that wrapped up. So yeah, we're really excited. We can't wait. But yeah, and it will not be all the way until August till you hear from us again. So you can keep your eye out for these other little mini adventures we're gonna do. Samuel was hoping for a Starfinder series. Maybe eventually. I don't think we have
Starfinder
to.
like twice.
Well, Starfinder 2E is now a thing. So
right.
Yeah.
I forgot about 2E.
Yeah.
There's so many games, you guys. So many games. So little time. I don't think we'll have to twist Chase's arm too hard to get him to run Starfinder 2E for us. But
yeah, Starfinder's been on my list. I loved the original Starfinder setting. I didn't like the rules so much of first edition, but I love the setting, and the rules for 2E look like Pathfinder 2E rules, so it looks really fun.
yeah, we'll it's on our list. There are so many games on our list.
So many games on our list. That's
it's
the
actually
problem.
crazy. Yeah, and I feel like I'm the one who's like pitching a new game every month. I'm like, you guys, I just heard about this one. It's so cool. We got to play it. So
Everyone else,
anyway.
cool, Tori.
Yeah, great, Tori. Okay, cool. By the way, I still have not let it drop. I do want to play a stew pot one shot with Crunk, Jack, and Gingham, because that would be so funny and so wonderful. So maybe we'll make that Patreon content. I don't know if that sounds interesting to you guys. Maybe we'll just do it as a goofy bonus episode that we'll throw on Patreon. Anyway, okay. Last question, I think, unless I missed any in chat. I don't think so. I think I've been on top of it for right now. Okay. So last question. Do I want to go one? I don't know. Well, you guys tell me how you want to do this question. What is something you admire about how another person plays the game? So M, Katie, Tori, or Chase. So do we want to do like one at a time, like one person goes and says something about another person and then they go, and so on and so forth, and we do a cute little circle? Or do you want me to just toss it out there and people can say whatever the heck they feel like saying?
Moderate it, Tori.
Okay, I'm moderating it. M looks terrified to answer this
I appreciate
question.
that Tori moderates this chat.
That's a cheater answer, Chase. And I didn't even ask you the question. Okay, so get moderated.
All right.
Okay. I have to think through this, how this circle is going to work. Okay. Katie, what is something you admire about how M plays the game? Or plays in general. You don't necessarily Stolen Fate, but just about M.
Like plays any game in general? Like
Your
any
choice.
TTRPG?
Yeah, I've asked the question. I'm shutting up
Okay,
now. You can
okay.
interpret it and take it wherever you want.
What I appreciate about M playing not only Stolen Fate, but any other, is she always has her characters embodied and fleshed out in some sort of manner and makes them like they're real characters. You know what I mean? Like, and I really appreciate that about M. She always kind of knows the personality, even if it starts out as a glimmer. It's something she can always fall into, and I really admire that that's something she's able to do.
I don't know how to accept compliments. This
Say
is the
Merry
worst
Christmas.
question. Merry Christmas.
Just run away. Hurry.
Can't leave.
I have to go check on Ruffle. That's a joke from the next show that you guys will get in a few episodes. Okay. Lovely. I agree, Katie.
Concur.
M, what is something you admire about okay, I'll just ask. What's something you admire about Chase? I realized halfway through that's kind of cheesy to ask you because you're married to the guy, so like presumably there's a big long list of things.
That
Yeah,
could
we're
make me
gonna- we have
harder
another
to
half hour,
admire.
right?
You don't know.
What is something you admire about how Chase plays the game?
So Chase, first off, plays it very fair. I don't feel like Chase is ever trying to get out there and like be against the enemies. Chase puts a lot of work into tying characters into the story. I think he reacts really well whenever we want to do something completely random. He just flexes into it like with incredible speed. I really think it's a special ability. Chase's NPCs always feel really fleshed out and unique and obnoxious for some reason. He's not out here, he doesn't fall into the pit of, I'm going to make an NPC that everybody loves. He's like, everyone's going to hate everybody and it's going to be awesome. I don't know. It works for him for some reason. Yeah, I admire Chase on many, many levels.
Oh, thank you.
I agree. I will just also add that I already, vamped you up enough, Chase, earlier, but I will just say there's not a GM that I trust more than you. And simultaneously less. It's sort of both.
That's my sweet spot.
Yes.
No
But-
question
but-
is
that
means a
too
lot.
innocuous for Chase.
Yes, exactly. You've landed it. Okay. Now, if I'm going in the order, Chase. I don't like asking this about myself, but it is your turn. What is something you admire about how I play the game? Compliment, please.
I admire how you jump into all the little story bites that are tossed your way. Like if I try to toss something out, sometimes as a game master, you'll throw things out and people won't really bite. I always know that if nobody else bites, Tori's gonna bite and she's gonna flesh that arc out really well.
Nom 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 nom.
You're also very resilient when I pick on your characters. So thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
don't have to hold my punches with you and it makes for a good story.
I am happy to be baited with all the story hooks. I'm reliably willing to follow all the threads. Thank you. That's very kind.
Of course.
Okay, and then I will wrap up with saying what I admire about how Katie plays. And I know you said that M is like very in character and stuff, but Katie stays in character like the entire session. Like we start recording and Katie is just, there's no more Katie, there's Gingham. And then and that is only done when we stop recording. And
Till
that's
the
how
hat
like
comes off.
yes, exactly. That's how all of Katie's characters are. And it's like I'm someone who like has a hard time not staying in character, but just like I sort of need those like little breaks of like, oh, like, okay, Tori, you know, like this is Tori saying this. Like Katie is committed and is Katie hardly ever is like out of character, which I think is really cool. And there maybe not so much with Gingham, but at least with some of your previous characters too, particularly Irina, who was like a challenge on Tabletop Treasure Hunters. You were like never going to break. You were just going to stay like stone faced always. And you did a very impressive job. It was pretty unreal. So yeah.
Irina was scary.
It
You're
was
very
really
committed.
hard to do.
I know RLU was out here intentionally trying to ruin your life.
Yeah, RLU and Wombat. The two of them teamed up and just sat and ruined my life. That's very kind, Tori. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, and Ryan is showering us with beautiful compliments in chat.
So nice.
That's so cute. So precious. Ryan says that how I admire M as a gamer. Many players play some spin on the same character. You don't. Your characters are all very different.
That's true.
Admire Chase as a gamer, specifically GM. Like M said, super fair. He can also roll with unexpected player actions. Boy, howdy, can you. And never give anyone a hint that he has to make it up. And Ryan says that I have enthusiasm. As long as the game is fair, I'm right there to play and jump all in. Thank you very much. I can only assume that a Katie message is coming through presently.
Let's leave it blank. That's so
Like,
funny.
Do you see RLU and Wombat in chat though? You're welcome, and that's how I earned my name. Yeah,
Yeah.
they know. They know.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. How I admire Katie as a gamer. I hinted at the top. Character development is fantastic. Gingham started as almost naive and awestruck. Not anything similar at the end. Oh, so sweet. Well, this has been so fun, you guys. Thanks for thank you geeks for hanging out with me and talking about this. And thank you chat. Everyone in chat, thank you so much for coming and chilling with us tonight. It was so fun to be back live streaming. It's been so long since we've done this.
Took
I
me a
both
minute
miss
to
it
figure out
and I
OBS.
don't, but it's very nice to chat with people.
I miss it immensely. It's my favorite way.
I miss doing it, but it is a lot of work to live stream on the regular.
Plus, we record so late. We can't stream that late.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There would
but
be
it-
nobody there.
But you know, this was really fun to just do. Like, it was like a nice, casual, low key, low stakes stream, which is really fun. It was really fun to talk to you all, and hear your live reactions and also what you thought of the show. Please keep it coming. Feel free to blow up our Discord with thoughts, or if you realize that you had a burning question that you didn't think to ask until right this moment, feel free to drop it there. We're happy to chime in and answer and chat with you anytime.
Also invite your friends. We have Ryutama coming up. It's a very consumable little bit of podcast or video. So
Yes,
if
now
you want to get your
time.
friends in it, Ryutama is a good starting point.
Yeah, it'll be like 4 or 5 episodes.
We have
so.
Matt.
Yes,
have
Matt.
Matt,
Oh
and
gosh, we
everybody
should have
loves
said
Matt.
that. Yes,
I
Matt
said
from
it in chat early.
Okay, good. From Improv and RPG is a guest on Ryutama, and we all just adore Matt.
Matt's a delightful human.
Yeah. So you guys are in for a treat with that coming up. And as Chase said, now is the time. Invite your friends. Tell them to tune in for that little mini arc. And yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of all I've got to say. You guys know where to find us. So if you got anything more you want to talk to us about, we'll just be over on Discord. And Katie, Chase, any last words for our fellow geeks out there?
Just much love to you all. Look forward to destroying more of Jack in season 3.
What? That's what we're gonna go out on?
I have something
has
very
something.
important to tell chat.
Okay.
Roll only 20s. I strongly recommend it.
Unless you're
20s all
playing
day.
Pendragon.
That's true. Unless you're playing a roll under system,
Then you don't want that.
then don't do
You
that.
don't
Just
want
roll the
that.
best you can.
Get out there, roll the best you can.
Roll like Crunk.
Every time.
Roll like Crunk. All right, y'all. It's been real. It's been fun. We'll see you in a couple of. We're just a couple of weeks out from dropping our first episode of Ryutama, so keep your eyes out for that. And in the meantime, you know what I'm gonna say. Go take a long rest, drink plenty of water, and we will catch you next time. Bye. Love you all.